everybody, welcome to another edition of Box Seats. I'm your host, Frank Holder. This is the show we talk about sports with comedians. Let me bring in my man Talent in the building. What's up, T?
Hey man, everything copacetic over here. Frank Holder in the building.
Yeah, but not like you. You in the building. That's the most important. You in the building. My man Rodney Perry look like he's trying to come in too. Rodney Perry, RP, what's going on, man? How you doing, sir?
What's up, guys? How y'all doing?
We're doing okay. You know, we having a great day today. We haven't seen you in a while. How you doing is the question, bro. How you
Well,
doing?
he's not in the building. He's outside the building.
Yeah, that's true. He's outside, literally outside the building.
Definitely outside this gigantic building.
Well, like I said, this is the show we call Boxies. We talk about sports. We jump into a lot of things, man. The first thing is there was some breaking news that happened right before we got on the air, and the funny thing is I was like, this is kind of a crazy thing to say right now, so I'm gonna say it. The NBA is suspending the Phoenix Suns and Mercury Sun owner Robert Sarver for 1 year and fining him $10 million for workplace misconduct. And, we talked about certain things here. The workplace misconduct, Rodney Perry, I'm going to start with you first, Rodney Perry. The workplace misconduct is he said the N-word at least 5 times, and he treated females badly. What you think about that one, RP? What's your thoughts on, treating females badly? He got fined $10 million for saying the N-word in the workplace several times. What you think, RP?
Hey, man. Either the world we live in is changing, or he not white enough. He could be a little whiter.
No, he's not white enough.
Not white enough.
All right. I mean, you got to think the Commanders guys still ain't got fines.
Yeah, that's true. And nothing still ain't happened to him. Yeah, not
crazy, man.
Yeah. But Talent, I'm gonna throw this out there to you, bro. $10 million, is that enough? Not enough? What's your thoughts on this, man? Like should he, should we have expected more, less? $10 million, use the N-word, man.
Well, 10 million, it make you think that you touched somebody.
What?
10 million ain't no N-word fine. You touch somebody. You don't went around. That misconduct is going deeper than I think the little bit that's got released. They gave us the information of the N-word and mistreating the female, but I think it's more to this thing here. 10 million and to sit an owner now for a year. I think we need to brace ourselves for more to come. Detail wise.
Yeah, I can definitely expect that.
Yeah,
but since I got you up, man, I'm gonna jump into the next story, man. Looks like prosecutors in Missouri are trying to seek more than 4 years for Kansas City Chiefs assistant coach Britt Reed. He's the son of obviously Andy Reid. There's a plea deal on the table that the prosecution is sitting there saying that they're gonna probably accept. The plea deal's 4 years. The family wants 7 years. He hurt a 5-year-old and 3 other people. Do you think with his drunk driving, he had a couple of drinks? T, do you think 4 years is enough for drunk driving? He ain't kill nobody. People say he ain't kill nobody.
Yeah, I think 4 is enough. I mean, really what you want in things like this is enough time for people to really think about and process their actions. You know what I mean? It's not like we want, again, first of all, thank God nobody got killed. But more importantly, you want people to really process what they did and the severity of it. And trust me, people that don't go to jail, that do end up going to jail, they're gonna process it. You ain't got no choice. Like, I'm not talking about these career criminals, the little tough dudes. I'll do that, stand on my hand. I'm not talking about that. This is a guy, this Andy Reid's family, probably been far from it. He probably got a couple of little smacks on the wrist. This is probably the first time he got forced to do some real time.
Yeah, definitely would agree with that. But Rodney Perry, does this put a stain on the Kansas City Chiefs organization, do you think, in your opinion? You can't hear you, Rodney. You're on mute.
Not the organization, but definitely on the Reid family name. That's definitely a tough thing for the Reid family to get through, and I mean, it's a hefty fine, and he might get sodomized.
And where the hell did you put that building?
Yeah, right.
This dude's a magician. He's at a private.
I came on the back porch.
I appreciate you doing that, coming on the back porch. Talent. Now let's discuss the game last night, man. We talked, I don't know if you guys got a chance to see the game. I thought it was an exciting game. The Denver Broncos ended up rolling out last night. Russell Wilson was obviously the quarterback. He's the new quarterback of the Denver Broncos. The game was kind of crazy, man. Coach Nathaniel Hackett ended up at the end of the game, running down the clock for a 64-yard field goal. And everybody's upset that he did that. But Geno Smith did his thing too. Geno Smith, everybody's like, the Seattle Seahawks, they're going to blow them dudes out. They're going to blow them out the water. What's your take on the game? What's your take on the call? What's your take overall on the entire, how you saw the whole thing?
First of all, it was hilarious while I was watching the game because I'm home in New York. I'm at the bar. Half the fans are Giant fans. It's split three ways. You got Dallas in his bar, Giants and Jets. So I'm sitting there. So before it started, the Jets got so much to say. Yeah, bum ass Geno. Bum. I said, hey man, first of all, everybody deserves a second chance. I said, but secondly, New York got a history of shipping them out and they become big stars. I said, the boy might show his ass tonight. Geno got busy last night. Geno is reborn. Trust and believe what I say. Good game. He did his thing. Russell, too little, too late. Here's the thing about the new NFL, man. Y'all better get some urgency. Everybody that's playing this game, y'all better get some urgency and get it fast. All these people with this, I'm going to come back and have urgency in the fourth quarter. It's not enough time in one quarter. Yeah. If somebody puts you down in 3 quarters and you think you're just going to have 1 quarter to get it all back, you can't rely on that. And that's what Russell and them looked like last night. They tried, kept getting denied, turned away, turnover. I mean, I know he wanted his homecoming to be a little more sweeter than that. Everybody wants that I told you so moment. The only one that had that was Geno Smith last night.
Ain't that the truth? Well, Rodney Perry, it's important to have good kickers. You said that all day yesterday on the show. You got to take care of the kicking game. I think Talon said it best yesterday, too. He was like, man, y'all better take that kicker out, to the strip clubs with y'all and everything else. Rodney Perry, man, what's your thoughts, man?
I mean, of course, kicking is one of those positions you don't think about until they miss. And for a coach to let the game hinge on that kick, you gotta respect him having faith in that guy. And he came out, he made a great kick. The New Orleans game was decided by a kick. And I think we're going to see a lot of guys. How about this? We seeing fourth downs play out this year.
Yeah.
We're seeing faith in kickers, but not complete faith in kickers. So I think the whole thing with kickers are just coming to a head. And great kick to win the game, but nobody expected the Seahawks to win, and they won.
Including me. Mike Sean has joined the show. Mike Sean, talk to me, man. Tell me what you think about the Seattle Seahawks last night, and tell me what you think about Denver's decision to run the clock down. They still had more yards to go, but to run the clock down and try to get the kick and try to win the game, and they missed.
It was a bad decision. Why the hell did you pay Russell Wilson all that money and then decide to get conservative? Like, if you paid him all that money, then you should trust him to shut this game down. Like, that game should have been shut down. Like, Russell Wilson is capable of making sure that the game is over. But as the head coach, you decided to become a P word. You were P Valley. You became P Valley. Like,
the Seahawks won?
Yeah, bro. The Seahawks won. The
Seahawks won because
I was all the way up. I thought the
Denver
other team won.
Nah, because the head coach became P Valley.
Yeah,
and dog, why am I paying you all of this money?
Right.
And then at the end of the game, I decide I don't trust you. I'm gonna give the ball to the running back. Dog, like I know what happened in the Super Bowl. So if you're scared of what happened in the Super Bowl, then you shouldn't have signed him. You shouldn't have gave him the money.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't make, and I'm not even a Denver Bronco fan. I can care less about Denver, Seattle, the Queen of England. I can care less about these people. But my thing is like, dog, you got this dude here for a reason. I promise you, Peyton Manning, when he went there, would have audibled and be like, no, this is what we're gonna do.
Yep, he sure would have. No, absolutely no doubt about that. Now, Talent, I got something I want to bring up to you. And not one sports network talked about this, right? It's something that I paid attention to. Nobody talked about it. I'm still waiting for people to talk about it, okay? It focuses on the Pittsburgh Steelers. The Pittsburgh Steelers lost TJ Watt, which we just heard, his pectoral, everything else. But nobody paid attention to the Pittsburgh Steelers' shocking defense, how good they were. I'm bringing it up because a certain fact being Brian Flores has joined the team in the offseason due to obviously what's going on with the lawsuit and everything else. But Brian Flores has now joined the Pittsburgh Steelers. My question to you is, if the Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoffs and they do good, does Brian Flores get a shot at coaching in the NFL next season? Hell, let's say Pittsburgh Steelers makes a run and they the final 4 teams in the NFL. They one of the final 4 teams in the playoff, because I could already see the difference that the Pittsburgh Steelers have made in defense this year. And not one person brought up the fact saying, hey, you know what? Look how good Pittsburgh Steelers defense is doing this year because Brian Flores is on the staff. They had 5 turnovers from Cincinnati, 4 interceptions on the team that went to the Super Bowl just this past Sunday. Your thoughts?
Well, I think absolutely he gets a job. I think he gets a job for a number of reasons collectively, though. I don't think it's just that if Pittsburgh does good. I think that these cases drag out. And one way of settling, because we've watched this happen. This reminds me of comedy because shit, Monique just settled, right? But in her settling, y'all got to make up and give me stuff. So Brian Flores, I consider him getting his next head coaching job. Believe that's going to be partially a settlement. He's going to get a cushion. He's going to get a nice chunk of money. He's going to get a guarantee of this, that, or a third. And all of a sudden, this case ain't going to be seeming that bad or big, or maybe obsolete, disappear altogether, because that will be the settlement. So I expect them to do good. That defense is going to definitely do good. They look great. And watch what happens with him. Of course he's going to get a job.
I think so, too. Brian Flores put his hand all over the Steelers' defense this past Sunday. They had 5 turnovers from the Cincinnati Bengals, who made the Super Bowl not only 5 months ago. Rodney Perry, do you think Brian Flores gets a look this year, or does he got to wait a couple of years because of the lawsuit and everything else, or maybe 4 or 5 years? What's your take?
I mean, as long as he got a suit against the NFL, he ain't getting no job as no head coach.
Thank you, Rodney. Thank you.
I mean, they not.
How good
The NFL is petty as hell. Okay, right. They is not gonna get his man. And how about this? He not the defensive coordinator over there. He's like the fucking linebacker coach or something. He ain't. They don't put him in line for no damn head coaching job. I mean, I like Brian Flores. I think he did the right thing, but that right thing is gonna be benefited by other people and not him.
Okay, so you think he doesn't get absolutely no credit. Okay, I like the way you said that. Mike Sean, do you think Brian Flores' presence was felt by the Steelers? And do you think if Pittsburgh gets to be the final 4, final 2, does he get a look to be a head coach next season or no?
Yeah, I'm in the mood today. Listen, the Steelers stadium, is it going to be sold out whether he's there or not? I just want to ask that question. It's going to be it's going to be sold out regardless.
Right.
I want him to keep the lawsuit because understand they are not giving you a head coaching job unless it helps them in litigations. That's the only way you're getting a head coaching job. If in court, your lawyer, your team of lawyers, your 25 team of lawyers say, what would be a good idea if we make sure he get a job. If that doesn't help anything, no, he's not getting a job. You know how pissed they are right now that they're paying him and he's got a lawsuit against them? That's like that's like paying child support for your baby mom and she live in your house. You know how mad you are. You like, I'm paying child support and you live in my house. The NFL ain't gonna give him no job unless their team of lawyers decide that would help them in whatever court case that's going on right now.
I agree with that 100%. Thank you all right now watching Box Seats. It's a show we talk to comedians about sports. We give them the hot topics and they discuss, tell you what their thoughts are, whether they agree, disagree, whatever. They always bring the funny with it too. Thank you all for watching on the side and commenting. Right now, man, Dak Prescott news released this morning that Dak Prescott was not placed on IR, which means he's not going to be out for 6 weeks. Jerry Jones came out this morning and said he could return after 4 weeks. I thought the man was crazy when he said that. But hey, that's just me. What's your thoughts on Dak Prescott getting ready to have surgery and be able to be thrown back in there after 4 or 5 weeks? What's your thoughts on that, T?
Well, ain't got no choice. I was in the barbershop this morning, and the funniest thing, all it was in agreement was, he was like, man, I'm not mad at Jerry Jones, man. That's why he took all that time to pay him, because dude keep getting hurt. This is the third one of any significance anyway. And I think all that money is pressure. You don't have that luxury no more. When you was, a couple of years away from an extension, you can sit on your ass as long as you want until you get better. This big contract, you're going to have his ass at work for 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Not another week other than that.
Yeah, but it seems like he's hurt all the time. That's just my thought. He seems like he's hurt all the time.
You know what his problem is? He be getting hurt in the beginning.
Yeah.
That's the worst time to get hurt. You can get hurt in the middle or the end and look like a hero. But when you get hurt in the beginning, everybody mad.
Yeah, everybody mad. Rodney Perry, Dak Prescott is not going to be placed on injured reserve, which means he's not going to be out for 6 weeks, guaranteed. He couldn't come back after 4, possibly 5. What's your take on this, man? Dak Prescott not.
I mean, he went straight in for the surgery after the game. Well, during the game almost, and they were able to evaluate how long his rehab and everything was going to be. And so we come back on, Tuesday morning, and we see that it won't be as long as we thought. They were saying as much as 8 weeks a couple of days ago. I'm glad Dak is not going to be out forever, but I mean, this just don't look good, man. And the most violent game in the world, and we're surprised that people get hurt. People get fucked up, man. And how about this? Your thumb is fragile as hell. Now I don't know about Dak, but I do stuff with my thumb. I need my thumb.
Michael Shaw, you out in Dallas, man. Dallas people must be thinking that this is great news. I don't know, man. You got Dallas. I'm sure you got friends out in Dallas. Talk to me. What's your thoughts on Dak Prescott not being placed on IR?
Forget Dak Prescott. Let me tell you the most overrated thing in the NFL is the Dallas Cowboys offensive line. If I hear one more person for the last 8 years saying they got the best offensive line, who has the best offensive line and can't win a playoff game? Think about this. Tony Romo got hurt. Now Dak Prescott has been hurt twice, but y'all the best offensive line in football, but your quarterback keep getting hurt. Daniel Jones still playing. Eli was still playing. The rest of these guys are still playing. But according to the narrative that the media puts out, the Dallas Cowboys have had one of the best offensive lines in the NFL. How? That's like me claiming I got the best security in comedy, but I keep getting shot. Like at a certain point, like I don't have the best security. Like Rodney and Talent are gonna be like, "Oh, you keep getting shot. You might as well let me protect you."
I got you, brother.
Like I got you. I mean, I can stop you from getting shot. We can get you out the room faster than them. But this offensive line is so hilarious and it's every announcer. One of the best offensive lines in football. One of the best offensive lines in football.
But they're not giving credit to Tampa Bay being good as hell, man.
No, they are good as hell. But Dak got hurt with the Giants 2 years ago, and the Giants sucked.
Yeah, you can't say about Tampa Bay because they didn't have a great game. They just beat Dallas.
Yeah.
They just beat Dallas, and trust me, and Jerry Jones don't give a damn because Jerry Jones, like you said, I don't know who said it, he cut a check, and now he wants this dude to come back, and just understand their offensive line is in shambles, and Jerry Jones is gonna make Dak Prescott come back early with a bad thumb. He already sucked before the thumb.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was already bad before the whole thing happened, but they're gonna rush him back. And he's going to get set up because it's going to be a long season for the Cowboys. And I don't want to lie. I am happy about this.
He's going to get injured again. See, Patrick Mahomes news came out this morning too. He had a slight injury, but you know what? Patrick Mahomes threw for on Sunday. He threw for 5 touchdowns. He torched Arizona Cardinals, man. They think the score was 44-21. But people, up in Kansas City are saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't play him because he's going to, but he needs to play because they're playing against the San Diego Chargers this week, and they had trouble beating the Chargers. So any concern for Patrick Mahomes being slightly injured on his non-throwing hand?
Not really. One last note on the other guy. This is bad because it's a thumb injury, and
on Dak,
word of mouth is he sucks his thumb. So
you are childish.
I don't know if it's childish.
You a childish man.
Wrong.
You are a childish man.
Anyway, no, Mahomes got nothing to worry about. First of all, the guy, the way he throws under pressure and against, sometimes he runs left, goes right, goes across the grain of which he's running. He's so talented like that. We can't really worry about the non-throwing hand. You know what I mean? Only thing you worry about the non-throwing hand with a really stiff arm, to scave off, your tacklers and people rushing you, putting the press on you. But other than that, this guy is very skillful. So even a one hand for Mahomes is better than the other top 8 quarterbacks with 2 healthy hands. Other than the guy that sucks his thumb.
Here we go. Rodney Perry, Patrick Mahomes still threw for 4 after he got injured. He threw for 4 touchdowns after the injury. You know what I mean? So people like this shouldn't even be talked about. What's your take, Poppy?
Hey man, I mean, when your numbers are this crazy, man, I end up facing this guy on fantasy. The guy that put up 44, 55 fantasy points. When you do that, there is no injury. You know what I mean? As far as I'm concerned, if he doesn't show up next week, then the injury is an issue. But as of right now, Patrick Mahomes is still a beast, man. And goodness gracious, the guy whooped my ass.
He sure did. But Mike, Sean, I know we talking about Patrick Mahomes. I know we talk about him still throwing for 4 touchdowns and everything else. But do you think he should go in and have any concern when they play in the Chargers this week because he has a slight injury, or do what you're supposed to do? What's your thoughts?
Let me tell you what we did. We done sparked this kid up because we kept saying he not gonna be the same without Tyreek Hill. He ain't gonna be the same without Tyreek Hill. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All he did was throw, what was it, 5 touchdown passes?
5 TDs, yeah.
When I tell you, we poked the wrong bear. We poked the wrong bear.
The wrong little light-skinned bear.
The one wrong light-skinned bear we done poked because he was like, oh, so Tyreek Hill's the reason why I was dope. Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, it's not his throwing hand. He's going to be fine. And when I tell you how he wants to beat the Chargers, since everybody is telling me Justin Herbert is the best quarterback in the NFL who's never won a damn thing in his life, when I tell you how amped he's going to be, I won't bet that game because I think Justin Herbert is a great quarterback. But Patrick Mahomes, I saw an interview with Sean Payton, a former head coach of the Saints, and they asked him about Patrick Mahomes, and he said it 3 times. He's the best. And they were like, well, how do you think he's going to do with Tyreek Hill? He said, no, he's the best. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but you had Drew Brees. And he said, yep, and he's the best. And when somebody like Sean Payton keeps repeating that, you know what? I'm done challenging. Like I know he does some stuff that's kind of awkward or whatever, but that if y'all think Lamar Jackson is a video game, y'all ain't never seen a no-look pass until you saw Patrick Mahomes on a football field.
Patrick Mahomes is going to change the way we do a lot of things, man. Before we start talking about the rest of the games that we didn't talk about and everything else, T, I'm going to throw you up there first because I had a thought this morning, and I want to talk about the rest of the games too, but I had a thought this morning about who are going to, there's several teams who looked horrible last season, and these teams now all look a lot different. You got the Giants, you got the Washington Commanders, you got the Detroit Lions, Chicago Bears, Houston Texans, Jacksonville Jaguars, the Giants, and the Jets. They all look a lot better. So I was like,
remove the Jets. Can you remove the Jets, please? Can you?
Don't be like that.
So I said, of the teams that look bad, T, my order is going to be the Giants, the Bears, the Lions, the Commanders, the Jets, the Texans, and the Jaguars. What is your order on those teams from best to worst on how good they're going to do?
Let me see. I got an order. Top of that order, I'm definitely gonna go to the top of the order. My list would be the Giants. I'm not gonna lie. Like they impressed me. They impressed the hell out of me. Game week 1 with the urgency they played in. To see a team get in a position, a touchdown down, and clock keep ticking. And they would, even though they tried 3 times and got denied and a turnover, interception, they came back each time with that tenacity and that energy you want from your team when you're down, especially when the clock is ticking. So they would be the best one. Behind them, I'm giving it to the Commanders, who are shocking as well. Same division, too. It's going to be very interesting. Then I would go with the Texans, who I thought they were going to lay down and die. I ain't gonna front. And they just came out week 1 like, we here. I was like, okay, you here. You done lost a whole little perverted quarterback, but you still here. All right, so then after them, I go with my Jets. I go with the Bears after that. Chicago was very impressive this week 1. And then Jaguars, and finally at the bottom would be the Lions.
Okay, all right, Rodney Perry, what's your order, Rodney Perry? Tell me your order.
I mean, to be honest, man, I'm looking at the Bears. I've been paying close attention. They did make some moves to shore up their offensive line. They look really good, man. I hesitate to put them at the top of the list, but a strong number 2 and number 3 right now. The Jets probably should be off the list altogether.
Hey. Just answer the main question. God,
answer the main question.
God damn.
The Jets did play a great game against Baltimore, but they couldn't get it done. Who
played a
else?
Great half.
We got the Giants, the Bears, the Lions, the Washington Commanders, the Jets.
I think the Lions will still remain a steamy pile of doo-doo. But
You're crazy.
Hold on. Let me say this about the Lions. The Lions have some speedy guys over there that are blindingly fast. I mean, maybe the fastest guys in the league. 2 of them are wide receivers. Look for them guys to shine this year. Matter of fact, I'm looking to grab one of them as a sleeper for my team. But, dude, I just don't know if they're ready to win. There's a mental component with a team, and I just don't know if they're ready to win. I'll put them maybe at a 4. We're looking at the Giants, and I hate to say this, but I like the Giants, man. Giants, I put the Giants at the top of that list, at this list we're talking about. So I like the Giants. I like the Bears. Not a big fan of Detroit. Not a big fan of the Jets. Who else is left?
Let's see. You got the Commanders, the Giants,
the
Bears,
the Mariners.
The Commanders are left. Look, man. As long as your name is the Commanders and Red Grant has a box seat, you're not gonna win.
Well, I'll say this: the Lions erased a 17-point deficit against the Philadelphia Eagles. Everybody was picking them to go at least go deep in the playoffs. So the Lions impressed me.
Everybody good at game 1, Frank.
I know, but that's why I like game 1s.
Don't play that game in Harrisburg.
Michael Sean, what's your order? Out of the Commanders, Lions, Bears, Texans, Jaguars, Giants, and Jets. What's your order?
Number one, Detroit lost that game because their coach is ridiculous. Like, why would you kick an onside kick just to do it? You weren't just to do it. And then you call a timeout at the wrong time. They lost that game because of their coach. So I honestly think if he corrects his brain, he can actually take that team to be somewhere. Now, the Texans, I would have never thought in my life that the Texans would play as well as they played. Like, there's something going on over there. It's like sometimes when everything goes wrong and your family going through something and everybody comes together and says, you know what, we're going to fix this. We're going to make sure the house don't get foreclosed. We all going, I'm going to drive Uber. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. That Texan team is a dangerous team. I'm telling you, watch what I'm saying. The Giants will be a problem because they believe now. They believe. And there goes the coach. And what was the last team?
We got the Giants. You got the Commanders, the Lions, the Bears, Texans, Jaguars, Giants, and Jets.
Forget the Jaguars and forget the Commanders because Carson Wentz, I promise you. I promise. I will bet money. Forget him. Carson Wentz is going to break their hearts. He almost broke their hearts in the first game. Like he had good portions. Then he has his normal Carson Wentz. He has his Michael Sean times. He has his, Mike's sober. He gonna kill it. Oh, Mike's drunk. He not gonna kill it. Listen, this is what happens with Carson Wentz. Carson Wentz goes up and down. You can't believe in that team. And I feel bad for the Jaguars because I think the Jaguars are gonna have a productive season, but they're not ready to actually make a run to win 9 or 10 games. And Trevor Lawrence is sitting there going like, I know I'm really good, but I'm around a bunch of players that Urban Meyer put together and ruined this team. So it's going to take like 2 to 3 years before they get their stuff right.
Okay. Talent. We got to go back and start talking about the games. And I got something for Michael Sean. I got Nelson Aguilar, Devontae Parker, Jacoby Parker. I got Kendrick Bourne. I got Ty Montgomery. I got Taquan Thornton. I got tight ends Hunter Henry and Janu Smith. And all of them laid a big doo-doo on Sunday when the Patriots played the Miami Dolphins in Miami in that heat and everything else. So what's your take on the Patriots game against Miami Dolphins? I got a lot I could say about this. I'll keep my comments until after you two speak, but what's your thoughts on the Patriots game against the Dolphins?
Well, I have to agree with Mike said some 24 hours ago, how washed up Belichick. I made a bet.
You sure did.
A season and a half ago, tell you that Brady was worth more in the gold than the coach. We had a whole argument on that. Fast forward, second season, I'm still right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'm still right. He's not doing this miraculous coaching thing that we thought. He's the Bizarro of the Zen master.
Still don't agree with you.
I've seen 2 plays. This is how you know he washed up, Frank. I've seen 2 plays in the game where he tried to run the triangle.
I still disagree.
He called the play for Steve Kerr. He wanted the ball to go to Steve Kerr.
They heard him. They heard him up in the booth, and the headset asked for Ron Harper.
I still disagree with you. Michael Shaw, what's your take on the Patriots losing to the Dolphins, man? You think it's Belichick's? Like, what's your thought?
I'm gonna curse once. All the guys you named, right? All the receivers you named. I'm just gonna curse once. All the receivers. You know your receivers are whack when I got more bitches than them. Like, don't nobody know them. All the people you named, don't nobody. Nelson Aguilera got traded and got sent off the Eagles. Why? Because he ruined a playoff game because he dropped a pass that was right in his hands.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Bill Belichick's ego is so inflated that he believes no matter who he puts on the field, he can coach them into winning something. Tom Brady ain't there no more, homie. You ain't never won nothing.
Right.
Unless you were with the Giants. You ain't never won nothing if Tom Brady wasn't the one calling the plays. And the exposure, and the funny thing is, the media is never going to expose him because he's won a gang of Super Bowls. So there's nothing you can say. But this whole greatest coach of all time and all that other stuff and all that, dog, the exposure is happening now.
Yeah.
Because your stubbornness was that you decided that you were going to get your little Mac Jones and you were going to make sure it was going to be all good. And I can formulate a defense. First of all, you're not. Because the Bills are going to bust that ass. It's going to get real ugly when they play the Bills.
All right, let me ask you this, Mike. Let me ask you this since I got you up. Who's your team?
The Giants.
If Bill Belichick was going to coach the Giants right now, would you take him?
No, not right now.
You're smoking crack.
No. I'm not smoking crack because his ego is gone, but is going over his common sense. When he had common sense, he knew Randy Moss gave up on the Raiders.
His ego is that's not the issue that he's having right now. It's not an ego thing. He's having an issue right now with nepotism. He's putting his sons and people he's really, really good friends with as positional coaches. That's what he's doing.
So that's not nepotism. That's called ego because I can do it. Because I can make that happen.
He can do it, but it's more along lines of nepotism because he wants his sons to get positions of the job.
So let me ask you this, Frank. Okay. The Raiders got Devontae Adams.
Right.
They were willing to trade.
They're willing to trade what?
Draft picks or whatever they had to do to get Devontae Adams.
Right.
Bill Belichick knew Devontae Adams was out there. Right. He knew one of the best receivers was out there.
Right.
Did he go get him?
He couldn't if he wanted to. So what's
why? Why couldn't he?
He was maxed out. They're maxed out the salary cap until the end of the season. He couldn't if he wanted to.
That's
why Josh McDaniels went over to Oakland. One of the reasons why Josh went over to Oakland because he had room to work on with the salary cap.
Frank, do you know how many people Bill Belichick has cut before?
Oh, of course I know that.
Do you know how many contracts aren't guaranteed on the Patriots right now?
The Patriots signed at least 15 new players on their roster this year, just in the past season. He wouldn't
and those salaries aren't guaranteed.
Most of them are guaranteed. Yes, they are.
Nelson Aguilera. He signed Nelson Aguilera, y'all.
I know that. But you know what? If you want to argue with me about the Patriots, we can continue on this all day.
No, go ahead, because he's done. He's done. He's done.
I don't think so.
Belichick is done, and he's mad as hell because Tom Brady is 75,000 years old and went over there and won a Super Bowl in 1 year. In 1 year.
How impressive? That's not impressive to me. He won it in a COVID year where he brought over Gronk came, Leonard Fournette came, a couple of wide receivers came, like Antonio Brown.
So why didn't Bill Belichick pick up these?
I'm gonna go back to the show.
No. We're not. All these players were available, but Bill Belichick's ego said, "I don't need them."
Well, Tom Brady went to Tampa. Gronk wasn't coming back to the Patriots. Antonio Brown had just.
Why wasn't he? Why wasn't he come back to the Patriots? Why? Who does he hate?
Of course he hates. He hates him. That's not an ego thing. He hates him. He doesn't want to play under that.
That's not an ego thing.
It's not an ego. That's a rules thing. That's like I have rules.
Dog, Lawrence Taylor was the most wildest player ever in the history of the world. And Bill Parcells put his ego to the side to say, I need to keep him here. He was doing cocaine in the locker room. He had cocaine in his helmet. But Bill Belichick, okay, go ahead. All right. I'm wrong, Talent. My bad. I'm wrong, Talent.
You are wrong, but we're going to continue on with this, man.
No. Frank is in heavy denial.
Exactly.
You are in heavy denial, bro.
Yeah.
I will be in heavy denial. Meanwhile, pay me my $10, man.
He's no Bill Parcells, bro.
No,
exactly. A good coach and a great coach can go to another franchise, another group of players, and still do a good coaching job. Your guy got new players. He's stinking up the gym.
He brought the Patriots with a rookie QB to the playoffs last year.
Who was that rookie QB?
Grand closing.
The Patriots went to the playoffs last year with a rookie QB.
Because everybody else was stinking it up last year.
And what they do in the playoffs?
You didn't go because you was great.
Okay.
The Eagles went to the playoffs too and got bombed by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
The Giants and the Jets, both of you guys would take Bill Belichick tomorrow at 70 years old as head coach, and both of y'all would be happy and doing cartwheels. So
no, I wouldn't.
Yes, you
would.
I
wouldn't.
You know who Bill Belichick is? You know who he is?
He's Bill Belichick.
He's that dude that they just made king. He was the oldest prince.
Bill Belichick
had to wait for 80 years old to become king. He got 2 years.
He's the best coach in the league of all time. But like I said, I'm gonna keep the show going.
No, he's only been the best coach in the league of all time when Tom Brady was his quarterback.
It doesn't matter what he was.
No. I want you to check his record.
Check his record. I did.
Yeah, without Tom Brady.
Super Bowls he has 8 Super Bowls right now in his.
No. Without Tom Brady, how many he got?
He got 2.
Yeah, with who? It's Bill Parcells' a Super Bowl.
With Phil Simms.
Yes, but those aren't his Super Bowls.
Now they're not his? Now they're not his?
They're not his.
All right.
No, they're not his.
All right. That defense is what won them the Super Bowl because the quarterback on the offensive side sucked.
Did you see Phil Simms break a record in the Super Bowl? You're bugging, Frank. You really want to have Bill's baby. Phil Simms
I'm ready to fire him.
Phil Simms had one of the greatest Super Bowls ever.
When the Giants won the Super Bowl, when they won the Super Bowl with Phil Simms, what were they known for those 2 years they won?
Yeah, because they had a great defense. But who was
the head coach of the defense?
It was Bill Belichick. Who was the MVP?
Hey, screw all that. Frank, what would you name the baby?
Yeah, well, what would you name the baby? Would you name him Billy?
I'd name him Michael Talent. All right, let's keep the show going because I could argue with you all day about this. All right, so the Saints end up having a comeback victory against the Atlanta Falcons. And speaking of people who nobody's talking about the comeback against that literally Jameis Winston balled out. Literally the last couple, he helped them win that game. And I ain't seen his name flash across no screen on ESPN or nothing. Are we overlooking Jameis Winston? Are we overlooking that whole fact that the Saints literally played very, very well too? I mean, is that a possibility?
I think, yeah, by saying it that way, yeah. But I mean, I thought the Saints would play well. I expected them to play well. I mean, let's keep in mind, this is a team that's kind of been keeping it together. Don't ask me how, but they've been kind of keeping it together position-wise over there, other than the quarterback. The quarterback has been their woes the last couple of seasons, keeping a healthy quarterback. But other than that, they've been keeping their pieces of the puzzles in place. So you expect them to do well. Now, can they be beaten? Of course, but you at least expect them to do well. So I expected in that game for them to come out and perform the way they did.
Okay, so Michael Sean, did you expect Jameis Winston to come out and do the way they did, or is the Saints bad and Atlanta Falcons that good, or a whole bunch of things? What you think about the Saints game against the Falcons?
First of all, they got the All-Pro receiver back.
Yeah,
and we forgot how dope he was, and I'm proud of Jameis Winston because this is where you judge a quarterback on this. When things go bad, do you fold? Or do you just shake it off and say, we back at it? And that's what he did. He's maturing. Like, we know he's an immature dude. Nobody gets crab legs and just walks out of place and is not immature. But he is now becoming a grown-ass NFL quarterback. And I was proud to watch him do what he did. The Saints are a problem because their defense is really tough. Their defense is going to be tough. And they got options, and all them people who joked about he threw 31 touchdowns and 31 interceptions, and the Max Kellermans and all the other stuff were joking, and Stephen A. Smith were joking. Do you know you can't teach somebody how to throw 31 touchdowns, but you can teach somebody how to be more respectful and not throw 30 interceptions,
right?
And you can see what he's turned into right now. And he's not fast, but he's mobile enough to get out the pocket when he needs to get out the pocket. So shout out to him. I think they're gonna do something.
He might literally end up being, if he gets a couple more W's under his belt, he might end up being one of the comeback players of the year. He might do that. T and the NBA, T, surprising news came out yesterday that Steph Curry told Rolling Stone magazine that last month the Warriors internally had a discussion about Kevin Durant coming back and being traded back to the Warriors. And Steph Curry said to Rolling Stone that literally KD is just misunderstood. Like he's being painted a bad picture, and we almost pulled off a trade to get him. Was that shocking news to you to find out that last season that Golden State literally was trying to pull off a trade before this whole thing happened? During the season last year, they were trying to bring him back?
No, that rumor came out pretty quick and all the turmoil. And let's keep in mind, KD left off of some in my feelings, ish. So it don't take but time for that to go away. Like me and Mike have an argument today. Fast forward next year, me and Mike having, fun together on shows together, laughing like that never happened because it's a moment in time. So the fact that they were in the negotiation trying to get him back there, that was easier said than done. If Brooklyn wasn't so the best poker players last year is Brooklyn, because everybody and their mother thought he was going somewhere. Everybody but Brooklyn. Brooklyn's saying, we ain't entertaining that. Brooklyn did not flinch. Usually in this situation, the organization could easily get caught with their pants down, so to speak, and get blindsided. Brooklyn, it was like when it was vacation, it was like, we're not coming off vacation for this. We're in Cancun, we're chilling. And when we get back in the office, we're going to do what we do and we'll be all right. And they didn't give it, they kept him. But it didn't surprise me to know this. And, he left again in a little tiff. It was on the outs or whatever case may be. Somebody didn't kiss that ass quick enough and he was gone.
Yeah.
That's how that works.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because Draymond cool with him now, Laffy and Jokey, we cool now. But again, that apology came, I don't know how much too late.
Yeah, I think the apology came too late, But Michael Sean, are you shocked to find out that Golden State almost pulled off the trigger to be able to land KD in the middle of last season?
I'm not shocked, but I think after the NBA Finals, I did not think Steph Curry was built to do some LeBron-ish, which is I'm going to score 30 points every game. Now, y'all figure it out. I didn't know. I knew he was the greatest shooter, one of the greatest shooters I'd ever seen. I didn't know he was built to be like, I'm going to carry the team. After the NBA Finals, I bet you right now, if you ask Steph Curry that same thing, he's like, no, we good. Like, we good. And this is what irritates me about Kevin Durant. When people get into confrontations with people, like I'm the smallest person on this show. But if you disrespect me, I'm down to fight and lose the fight. Like I'm down to lose the fight. Kevin Durant won't even fight. Like Kevin Durant didn't even step to Draymond Green.
Mm-hmm.
I can't have you on my team. Like, dog, I'm not asking you to win the fight. I'm asking you to get involved in it and say what you got to say, because every time you're not surrounded by the perfect team, you fail. Every time he's not surrounded by the perfect team and he's the leader, they fail because he's not gangster like that. Amazing ball player. On the court, he's amazing. He can do everything. The problem is he can't be the person, like even Michael Jordan had to step to Xavier McDaniels at some point and say, you know what, we got to get into it.
Mm-hmm.
When you think about this, we're putting Kevin Durant, LeBron James, and all these people in the same breath. Do you think Draymond Green would have popped off at Michael Jordan on that bench? Absolutely not. And if he did, it would have been a severe problem. So I don't believe in Kevin Durant. Like I'm done. I think he's one of the most skilled players ever, but I don't want him as the leader of my squad. I really don't.
Yeah, I can see how Michael Sean made a great point. In other news, Minnesota Timberwolves are upset and disappointed because Anthony Edwards had to come out and apologize for using anti-gay comments in an Instagram video that he had posted. Now, he's in his big tiff and all this other thing.
That was really talent. Talent did that. That wasn't Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, the sad part about this, bro, is that it's all, the LGBTQ community's up in arms. A lot of the gay folks are up in arms. Minnesota. It's just, you already know where I'm going with this, T.
Do we know what he said?
I didn't even pay attention to the video, bro. I know that. I didn't even pay attention to it, but he did say
anti-gay. What's that?
Yeah.
So everything somebody don't like or is on the other side of the gate, they anti.
Well,
women do it, but every day women say, some woman somewhere go, I don't like short guys. I don't like tall guys. I don't like fat guys. I don't like skinny guys. They anti.
Facts.
We can't even have opinions no more without getting sued. Or you know what I mean? I said to the dude one day, I said, hey man, don't do that. That ain't kosher. Anti-Semitic. What
That ain't kosher.
did I do? What did I do? I said, hey, player, don't do that. That ain't kosher. He's throwing slurs. I said, no, give me a drink. I'll show you a slur. What the hell is the world coming to? I got to see this video. But my thing is, somebody has to grab a podium. I'm tired of people grabbing the podium, saying stuff, and then everybody got to grab a podium and apologize for every little damn thing they do or opinion they have along the way. Somebody needs to grab the podium and go, listen, this is the thing called life. We live in a thing called the world, and people are going to like and dislike stuff. And that is their prerogative. How are we the country that always talk about freedom of speech, but we clamping every corner of it down?
Yeah. And if you don't like something, you don't like something. If you will speak against it, like stick to your guns.
And that don't make you a vampire. That don't make you a demon. You just don't. I don't like certain cookies. I'm not out there snuffing little Girl Scouts. You'll see me on the corner, Girl Scout pull up. You got the mint points? How many mints? Come on, man.
See, you said that with a straight face.
Yes, I'm dead ass. This drives me nuts, bro. Paul, when I tell you this is the one thing that's been driving me crazy ever since all these movements, I'm like, dude, I already see it coming. I already see it slowly coming on stage. Me being that guy going against all these people. I already wrote the committee, the coalition, all the transgender. I already wrote it. I sent the email.
You ready? Okay, you ready?
Ready for me.
Here it go. Mike, what's your thoughts on Anthony Edwards being in hot water, man, and had to post because his IG video he posted on, he posted about gay slurs. What's your thoughts?
First of all, it's funny that he's in hot water. But
lukewarm. He's in lukewarm water.
First of all, listen, I stopped watching P Valley after one scene. So am I anti-gay now? Because I couldn't, like, I saw the one scene. I was like, I didn't say it was a bad show. I just couldn't continue on with the circumstances. Talent said it. I can't say it any better than he said it. Now, all of a sudden, if you don't like, I'm not saying not to do it. I'm not saying you should be oppressed and not be able to live the lifestyle that you want to live. You should. You shouldn't be forced to make me be like I like it. Like I don't. And some of these slurs, once again, in our neighborhoods that we grew up in, I'm not saying this is right. Every neighborhood that we grew up in, from Talent to Fig to Rodney, we done said some stuff that we can't say anymore unless we around us. Because everybody takes it as anti-gay, anti-Semitic, and that's not what we meant it for. So this whole thing of him having to apologize, and I'm tell you one thing about apologizing. When you apologize, now they're ready for you to do something else wrong. This is why when Beyonce had to take the word spaz out of her song, I said she shouldn't have taken it out because the ball starts rolling. And now they start looking at everything you do. Dog, I'm inappropriate. I'm just an inappropriate person. Like the stuff that comes out of my mouth, I ain't trying to offend nobody, but my dialect is inappropriate. Mm-hmm. And once you apologize once they get that ball rolling, Then now all of a sudden they're looking at everything you've ever said. They're gonna check his Twitter from the day he got on Twitter, and he's gonna be apologizing again. That's why Kevin Hart apologized once for that situation that happened. And when the Oscars wanted him to do it again, he said no. Because you're not going to keep bringing this stuff up and just like take my personal life and be like, dude, me and Talent and Frank were having a conversation. We were just talking and somebody recorded it. But none of us took offense to it, and we weren't trying to offend anybody. Once you apologize once, dog,
yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
Speaking of being it's a wrap, that's the show. So tomorrow we're going to talk about obviously some more NFL, latest and hot news and everything else. T, I'm gonna throw this out there, T, and give you some more stuff that you could be sitting there putting in your range. I can't hear you, T. You're
Hold on, Frank. This is going to negate everything we just said.
Here we go.
So on his Instagram story, just for people like me curious and didn't know what the hell it was. Instagram story, which was recorded and shared by others before it was deleted. A person is apparently inside a car with the window partially rolled down, and records of record small gathering of men standing together, a short distance away from the open window. I guess how they dance or whatever the hell's playing. So some of the men are like hugging, and a voice could be heard saying, "Ladies, queer ass niggas." And I don't mean people. Don't judge me. Don't charge me for laughing. I'm laughing at because I can appreciate the humor in. Me and Mike said a mouthful back to back. Back to back on some walk the line defensive shit. And I said, let me find what this thing is, man. And I finally see the writing. All I had to see was the N-word blocked out. I said, let me read the whole thing. He said, the men outside the car, they hugging and his voice in the background. Look at these queer ass niggas.
Hold on, Talent. How many times? Hold on, Talent. How many times have we clowned Jay Moran for doing his little dance?
Yeah.
How many times?
Yeah.
We just older dudes. We just older dudes. You queer.
I'm gonna tell you what was doing him in on this situation, and I pray for him, and he had to come clean because everybody knows your voice. So, but what did him in, Frank, is the word queer.
Yes.
They didn't come after him for the nigga.
Yeah, they didn't come after him for the N-word. That was all good. That was all good.
Why is that not in the headlines? We just did a story at the top of the show where we said the owner of the Suns is suspended for office saying he did this and he did this. They mentioned both things. On here, they just mad and queer. And so who's gonna protect us niggas? That's a legit question. I'm concerned. So we are in an uproar for the queer, but I'm a big ass nigga. I'm unprotected.
I'm a big ass.
There's no protection for me, Mike. There's no podium. I'm looking at the whole article. I read 3 articles. Nowhere in here are they saying we gotta help the niggas. I gotta look more into this. This is very interesting. I'm sorry, but I mean, I just thought that was so funny because me and Mike gave some real good replies, and I see queer ass. Oh God! So, hold on. Tell me, you guys, before we leave. Tell me, you guys seen that sketch of South Park and Wheel of Fortune?
No, I haven't seen it.
You ever seen it? Like they have this. Google this joint, B. I guarantee you, Frank. First of all, you will watch it 100 times, and you will have literal tears. You might be is Wheel of Fortune, and the phrase, the hint is people who annoy you, right? And all the letters are which so one letter is an N at the front, the GGERS. It's just that one letter after the N got to be turned around. So the guy's like, people annoy you. You know that he's like, I know it, but I don't think I should say it. It's like 3 seconds. He's like, niggas. And it gets quiet in there. And the lady goes over, turns the thing, and it's an A for naggards. And everybody's like, yo, hey, go. I know it, but I don't think I should say it. He said, yo, put in YouTube, South Park, niggas, naggards, watch. Yo.
Oh my God.
Yo, we gotta leave. We gotta leave. That's the show. We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Oh my God. This
show. We laugh. You got me actually crying tears.
Oh, man. Wait till you see it. You think you're crying now? Wait till you see this skit.
I'm gonna go check it down. Like,
I'm gonna throw you over the top. Watch. You'll call me. You'll call me.